Hello, Dan on Demand members. Let me see if you can hear me. If you can hear me, just go ahead and say hello. I can hear you loud and clear. Connected. Hello. Hi, Tina. Great. Awesome. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure everything is properly set up. Let me see here. All right, so of course, if I see you on Discord, then that means that you are in the class chat channel. If you are purely listening to me, but you have no idea where the class chat is, make sure you log into the Discord server. You should have already gotten that through your email. Once you are in the server, make sure you go under live class. Under live class, there is a channel called class chat. That is the only chat that is available for all of you. So during the live class, just go ahead and type in the class chat. Of course, right under that, you'll see the class questions. That is for questions for Seafood Dan Lok directly. We will be answering those questions, or Seafood's going to be answering those questions, or the co-instructors are going to be answering those questions while we are doing the live class chat. So make sure you put all the questions under the class chat, right under class, or class questions right under class chat. And then you'll see some of the answers later on in the week under class answers for those questions we did not get the chance to answer. Now, everybody who's in the voice channels, I'm going to ask you to kindly step out of those voice channels. So make sure you log out, or else we will simply kick you out for now. But we do not want anybody in the voice chat channels while the live class is going. All right, perfect. And for Zoom, we do have a raise hand feature. If you don't know what it is, just go ahead onto your Zoom platform. Let's have everybody try it out real fast. You should see a hand icon. All right, I see a lot of you raising your hands. Beautiful, beautiful. So we know exactly where it is. This is the way that we can call on you. If we say raise your hand, then that's exactly what we mean by raise your hand. Raise your hand on the Zoom platform. This is not on the Discord, but make sure it's on the Zoom platform. And then we can possibly unmute you through the Zoom platform. And if we do get a chance for you to get unmuted, make sure that there is no background noise, that your mic is plugged in, that it's ready to go, and that we can hear you clearly. If you have a headset, make sure to put your headset on, because oftentimes there will be an echo otherwise. So we don't want to hear any of that. If for some reason you cannot connect and we do call upon you, and for some reason we can't hear you, we do have to move on. It's not to be disrespectful for you specifically, but we want to be respectful towards everybody in the class. So that is the gist of that. Now, I wanted to see under the class chat, for those of you who just joined, we are all in the Discord class chat. Hello, hello. I wanted to see where everybody is calling in from. Now, this is 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time Zone, but where are you and what time is it in your time zone? I see Netherlands, Malaysia, Germany, Chicago, Philippines, oh, Greece, Atlanta, all over the world, Australia, London, Boston, Vancouver, Taiwan, Italy, Edmonton, Cambodia, India, Czech Republic, Calgary, Brazil, Thailand, UK, Indonesia, New Zealand. Wow, 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 wow. And what time is it in your time zone? Because this is 6 p.m. for Pacific Standard. Wow, we got a lot of 3 a.m.s, 4 a.m.s, 2 a.m. That's dedication. 6 p.m., 3 a.m., 9 a.m., 9 p.m. Total opposite. So as you can see, we have a lot of people all over the world coming in for Dan on Demand. So, you know, just make sure right after live class is over to pop into the voice channels on here on Discord. This is where everybody can connect. This is the networking voice channel. So you can network with people from all over the world. Make sure you go in and do that after class, not right now. So if you are in the voice chat channels, please leave the voice chat channel, and we will lock it out and kick everybody out before the live class call starts. Now, that being said, I believe I have a Desmond Soon, who is the executive director of Dan Lok Online. Desmond.
You certainly do, Tina. Welcome everyone to Dan on Demand. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are around the world. Tina, how's my audio? Is it coming in nice and clear?
It's loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Thank you very much. Now, I was on when you were asking the members, where they were calling in, what time zones, and about 30 minutes ago earlier, I was in the Discord chatting with a couple of members, and I just must say that, we've done live calls like this for the past year, in which we've had thousands of students, and it always really moves Sifu, Dan Lok. We call him Sifu, Dan Lok. And I'll explain a little bit why we call him Sifu in just a second here. But it always moves him or myself or any of our team members, especially those people in Europe, in Africa, especially in those zones there, like the Middle East, and because the time difference, you're in the wee hours of the morning. So it definitely shows dedication that you are here. It means that you are serious to learn. It means that you're investing not only your time and money to be here, your energy to be here to learn. So I definitely want, and this doesn't just go for those in those time zone, it goes for anyone and everyone. For those of you who are here right now, you've paid the price to be here financially. Now you're also you're investing your time, which then leads me to another question that I saw was someone actually asked, approximately how long will this class be? And so I want to answer that question with a question. And that is, how long do you want this to be? If you had a multi-millionaire who usually, consults with companies and charges them over $100,000 for his services, or at $10,000 an hour, and this multi-millionaire is offering you some of his precious time to share with you his secrets that has made him successful and put him in the top 0.5% of the world, how much time would you want him to spend with you? Would it be 1 hour? Would you even put a cap on it? Because I can tell you myself, if I had that, which I have been blessed to have, I would take every single second on a 24-hour clock of every single day in a 365-day year. And it's because, and I don't say that to be braggadocious, but because of that kind of commitment, if that's you, and you know who I'm talking about, if that's you and you're that hungry, then you're on the right track to success, because that's what it takes to be a great mentee. Which, by the way, I want to just quickly highlight Tina here. Tina and I have known each other now for more than over a year, and during that time, actually, Tina, I think it's going on about 2 years. We've gone over 2 years now, right? That we've known each other.
No, it's only been a year.
It's only been a year. Okay, just a little over a year. Now, in that time, do you mind just sharing a bit of your story? How the commitment that you had to make, and how much, like when you first came and I was the person who had to be the gatekeeper and interview you, and what sort of commitments you had to make in order to get Dan Lok's attention, to show him that you wanted to learn from him. And in what place of your life were you at before you got to know Dan, and now maybe share with them, the new Tina, the Tina 2.0, and how great your life is right now.
Yeah, so when I first met Dan, I was a nanny. And then also a potty trainer, right? I actually was looking for a mentor just like Sifu, and I found him through YouTube. I flew into Vancouver. Desmond here actually challenged me to fly into Vancouver. I flew into Vancouver 3 times before Sifu would even talk to me from LA. And then once he, we had that chance, there was a dinner that happened. I joined his mentorship program, and it's history from there. I joined Team Dan Lok earlier this year in January, and yeah, haven't looked back since.
Tina has come a long, long way, and she's a testament to what is possible if you trust in a mentor who has your best interest at heart. If you, demonstrate leadership, not only to other people, but to yourself, that you'll hear a very famous line, which I'm sure Dan Lok, your mentor now, is going to mention to you tonight. And that is, write this down: how you do anything is how you do everything. And that will have deep meanings as we progress and get to know each other. I want to just pre-frame something for you here. This is not a one-time training. This is not a magic pill that you're gonna just suddenly overnight master. And it's like saying you want to become a black belt, at some martial arts overnight. It's not going to happen like that. Mentorship is like a lifelong process, and it is a process. It's a journey. If I can share any of my success and things that have worked for me, what did I do to be successful and be one of Dan's closest mentees, is because I looked at this as a journey, and I constantly kept my mind open, as Dan Lok would say, because he's a martial artist and he loves Bruce Lee. He talks about emptying that cup, be water, be fluid, be empty and ready to learn, be coachable. And so I'm going to ask each and every one of you to be as coachable. I really want you to get the most out of tonight's class and for every other subsequent class. Know that you should, don't look at it as one time, but be prepared to invest in coming back for subsequent classes and being around, or if you miss a class, going back and getting the previous classes and not making excuses and learning and, scripting out the time. Because as I said to you, if you do this correctly, because what you're about to get tonight, let me just quickly cover a bit about it, right? What you're about to learn tonight is what Dan Lok, my mentor, our mentor, your mentor, has really been very good at. It's what changed his life. It's what helped him make his first million. It's what helped him make millions of dollars. And if you apply this knowledge correctly, you possibly could also change your financial life, which will then give you choices to change your family's life. Travel the world, do whatever you want, get the dreams that you want. But it all starts right here, right now, tonight, this morning, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And that is the secrets of copywriting, right? I had no idea what copywriting was. Guys, I'll tell you the truth. I sucked at copywriting. Copywriting was not my thing at all. And in fact, it was only just recently, this last weekend, when we had a 1,000-person event at which I was a guest speaker at. And I applied these copywriting secrets to my speech. And you want to know what happened? Can you guys guess what happened? The entire crowd was moved to tears. People made commitments. People made promises. I saw people's lives shift. I saw people that were, on the verge of divorce changing their lives. I saw people that were, alcoholics or drug addicts make commitments to turn their life around. I saw people come up to me and cry to me and say, Desmond, you changed my life with your words. You inspired me. And I was really moved by that. I was like, wow, that is powerful. I humbly went up there to tell my story, but I told it in a way which was copywritten. And that's the power of copywriting. So without further ado, I do not want to deprive you of your time with this multimillionaire, the man that has made my life, changed my life, taken me from being the loser, single parent father at the age of 36, bankrupt and broke, who talked too much, to now being an executive director, a director of social media, a man respected by not only thousands of people around the world, but my wife and children, and I'm now the hero of my family. But the man of the hour is here with us right now. He is a man I proudly and say with utmost pride, my Sifu, a Chinese term that means teacher and mentor. And so please help me bring on to the stage here, Mr. Dan Lok.
DOD. If you're ready, put in the chat. By the way, how's my volume? This is my new mic. My rodeo mic. Is it good? Now, I'm going to turn up the volume a bit and see, is this better? Or is that too loud? How's my volume?
It sounds great, Sifu.
Awesome. I know you've been waiting for so long. With Dan on Demand, I have so many fans and followers from all over the world asking for something like this. And finally, you asked for it and it is here, because I understand not everyone may be in a position to take the high ticket closer program or some of the other higher end or higher level programs that we have. This is a way for you to learn from me. I can promise you one thing: if you pay attention, if you take notes, if you immerse yourself, this will be a very, very powerful session for you. How many of you actually watch my videos and on YouTube, or you follow me on social media? Put in the chat. a lot of people, they follow me on social media. How many of you get some value? You get value, you get insights, you get ideas from my content or from my videos. Yes? And it's interesting because I have so many of my fans and they say, wow, Seafood Dan, with your content on social media, it has already helped me tremendously. Let me just tell you this, there's a very, very big difference. Ask anyone who's actually learned from me on the inside. There's a huge difference between learning from watching my videos on YouTube and being in a class with me, where you are my mentee. It is not even close, right? I have a lot of students, high ticket closers, inner circle, all of my students. It is a huge difference. And by the end of tonight, you'll know why. So tonight, depends on where you're from, or in the morning, we are going to talk about copywriting secrets. So tonight, I'm going to reveal 13 advanced, not beginner, advanced copywriting secrets that turn strangers into buyers. And not just me, I've also have Steven, who is my director of copy, joining me, and I've Ed as well. Steven, are you here?
Hey, what's up, Sifu? Hey, what's up, Dan on Demand family? How's everyone doing today?
Excited. And we also have Ed. We have Ed. Ed, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Ready to rock and roll, Sifu. Let's do it.
So, Steven, maybe give our DoD family a little bit about your background, because before, when we met, you knew nothing about copy. It wasn't your background. You didn't know anything about it. Share a little bit about your story.
Absolutely. So back when I met Sifu, this was probably 3 years ago. Back then, I just graduated from university. I was trying a lot of different things. Like I was trying to make money through mobile apps. I was trying to make money through drones. You guys know the things that fly in the sky, like all sorts of these tech ventures, thinking that I was going to be the next Mark Zuckerberg. And I just kept falling on my face. Like no matter what I did, I just sucked at it, right? But I had this drive, I had this desire because like Sifu, and maybe like a lot of you actually, I come from an immigrant family. So my mom and my dad came to Canada very, 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 very poor. Dirt poor. My dad used to live in the poorest part of town where there's a lot of drugs, a lot of homeless population there. He would steal, actually, Sifu, you probably don't know this, but my dad, in Canada, we have this national bird. It's called the loonie, right? So if you look on the back of the $1 coin, you have this national bird. It's called the loonie. He was so broke, he used to go to the park and steal those birds to eat at night. He was that freaking poor. So my whole life, my motivation was to work hard, grow, build up enough money so I can support my parents. And that was a huge drive for me. But meeting Dan, before meeting Dan Lok, I kept trying to do all these different things and none of it would work. And really it was because I didn't have a high income skill. So when I met Sifu, like Tina, Tina had to fly in from LA. Thank God I didn't have to fly in from LA. But I was in Vancouver and I was just lost. I was so lost at that point. I was willing to do anything. So I started Googling Vancouver millionaire or Vancouver millionaires. And I just started contacting every single rich person I can find. Soon I found Sifu Dan Lok. Long story short, much like Tina, if you want to work with Sifu, like the opportunity that you guys have right now to be this close to Sifu was a very rare opportunity, because back then, like Tina, I had to basically harass Sifu. I had to email him for months. I had to show up to many of his events, constantly asking him, hey, look, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? Finally, an opportunity came up where Sifu was like, you know what? I have this opportunity where I need more copy, right? Because Dan has a lot of company that he runs, and he needed a lot of copy to be done. So he took me under his wing. I started learning from Sifu. He started showing me the ropes. I would write all this stuff, and he would just tell me, no, you gotta rewrite it. But sooner or later, I kept at it. And now, long story short, became Dan's director of copy. And it's still an honor and a privilege to be able to work next to Dan, because even after 3 years, I could tell you, you're gonna think that even if you watch like 500 videos from Dan, you're gonna think you're gonna know his stuff. But I can tell you, even after working with Sifu Dan for 3 years, constantly, I'm just amazed by the amount of value an amount of depth that Seafood Dan has. So that's it for my story. I can keep going, but that's it. I want to pass the mic off now. But just know, guys, you're in the right place at the right time. This is going to be an amazing, amazing night.
And by the way, Stephen, how old are you now?
I am turning 28 this year, later this month.
Yeah, happy birthday soon.
Soon, very soon.
And Ed, share a little bit about your background.
So growing up, I knew that I was a little bit different. I saw the people around me, they were working their 9 to 5, or they're going to school, and they just weren't happy. They didn't seem fulfilled with what they were doing, and they were working so hard just to barely get by doing something they hate. And I always told myself, this isn't something I want for myself. So ever since I was about 14 years old, I tried so many different online ventures. I lost $5,000 in a multi-level marketing thing. I tried to be a dating coach at 14 years old. I tried to be a copywriter because I had heard a little bit about it, but I didn't know too much about it. I tried to be an online marketer. I tried all these different things, but nothing really stuck. Nothing really worked because I had this limiting belief that I'm too young. Everyone always told me, Ed, you're too young. You're still in high school. No one's going to pay you the big bucks. And I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to prove all of you wrong. So I set out. I started watching Dan's videos. And actually, one of my friends, he's on the call today. His name is Hassan. I met him at this meetup event because I was trying to get clients for copywriting through that event. And he introduced me to Seafood Dan. He says, you know, Dan has this event going on called the Vancouver Entrepreneurs Group back when he was still doing it. And I came in, I was like, wow, this guy's a genius. And just learning from Sifu in person is so impactful, which is why it's such an amazing opportunity for all of you on this call today to be this close to Sifu. Now, I didn't have to fly out like Tina did, and it's just, I'm so grateful to be here. So, and every single time Sifu opens his mouth, I'm always dumbfounded. So I'm really excited for you guys tonight. Thank you for having me, Sifu.
Now, Ed, how old are you?
I just turned 18 years old.
Ed is 18 years old. 18 years old. Just so you guys know, two of them, and also Peter, and we have a handful of other copywriters who write a copy for my global organization. These two young guys here produce millions of dollars in revenue for my organization per month, not per year, per month. These two guys right here. There's a lot that you could learn from them. There is a lot that you could learn from them. So I want to also get to know you a little bit. Tell me, why are you here and what exactly do you want to get out of today's 2-hour training? Put in the chat, please. Make 10K a month. Okay, learning from me, closing ability, cooperating secrets, make a lot of money, pursue your dreams, 10K a month, take your business to the next level. All those are very good reasons, and that's what you believe. How many of you here because you want to make more money, right? Maybe you want to grow your business. Maybe you are looking to become a full-time copywriter. Maybe you are looking for strategies to make whatever you do more profitable. Or maybe just curious, what exactly is copywriting and how does this work? I could tell you all those things is a mean to an end. I bet the reason you're here, and almost every single student who want to learn from me, who are learning from me, because of one thing and one thing only. You want to become a better version of you. This is deep. You want to become a better version of you. Whatever that looks like. You want to buy that car, you want to buy that house, you want to pay off that debt, you want to start that business, you want to make that money, you want to buy that suit, you want to buy that watch, you want to support your family. All those things, at the end of the day, it is because You want to become a better version of who you are. That's my bet. That is my bet. So in the next 2 hours, the goal of today's training is I want to change your perspective on 3 things. How many things? 3 things. Number 1, the way that you view marketing and change the way that you do marketing. Number 2, the way that you view your customer, your client, and the marketplace. Number 3, the way that you view yourself. The way that you view yourself. What I'm going to share with you today are the most powerful and persuasive copywriting secrets that I know. I know a lot of them. I probably know hundreds of them, but I picked the 13 that I think it's a good starting point for Dan on Demand. And chances are I will teach these secrets to you first. And then after a few months, I would circle back and then I would stack on some of these secrets. Because there's no way I can teach you 100 things, but I'll teach you a few things to get you going, to get you started, right? And we build on top of that, on top of that, on top of that. Now, when it comes to copywriting, most people, they might think, oh, does that mean, we need to be hypey, right? We need to make these crazy promises, or we need to be clever. No. What you need to do is you need to understand, have a deep understanding of human psychology and what makes people take and what makes people pay attention and what makes people buy, right? As I said, the goal for this session is to change your perspective on 3 things, right? The 3 things. So we, as Desmond mentioned, that we actually literally a few days ago finished our annual event called Closers in Black for all my students, closers from all over the world. 1,000 of us, 3 days in a room, and it's not even open to the public. The ticket's not for sale. It's only for my inner circle students from all over the world, over 100 countries. And the reason I bring that up is for Dan on Demand, we also have now so many students from so many countries. In fact, do me a favor, put in a chat. Tell me which country you are calling, right? You're logging in from. UK, USA, Philippines, Indonesia, Vancouver, Stanley, good. Hong Kong, India, Malaysia, where else? Greece, Australia, Brazil, USA, yes. So Dan on Demand is even in some ways even more diversified, just because it is a group, is a larger group that we're growing very, very quickly. Now, to prove to you the copy, the power of copywriting. So I'm going to ask you a question, okay? Actually, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. Question number 1. Before you join the Dan on Demand family, have I met with you? Have I talked with you face to face? Yes or no? And have you and I talked on the phone? Yes or no? I want you to think about that. So if you and I, we have not talked on the phone, we have not met face to face. So the reason that got you here is because maybe you read a post on social media. Maybe you looked at one of the email that we sent you. Or maybe you watched one of my YouTube videos and you stumble upon the website, the web page, and that's where you sign up for DODS. All of that is copywriting. Nothing more than the power of the written words. So you want to know how powerful copywriting is?